So Governor Pawlenty, I'd like for you to address this. Anybody else could chip in as well. But with the challenge for our migration of the EMV chip technology in the United States, basically due by October 15th, why are U.S. consumers only now receiving the chip cards when consumers in Europe and Canada have had them for many years? Why are we behind the 8 ball?
There's some unique history as it relates to how Europe got to where it is relating to technology, their telecommunication system, how they did batch processing, how that works relative to how we did it in the United States. I think to sum it up here, I would say the transition from what we had to what we need and where we're headed next is a very big transition. You think about the millions and millions and millions of point-of-sale terminals that would have to be chip ready. Right now, only about 25% of retailers can even take a chip card, so they all have to flip over their systems, their point-of-sale systems, their backroom systems. Payment networks have to do the same. The banks have to do the same. So it's a massive transition. Would we have benefited from it being done earlier? Probably. But we are where we are, and now we just need to get it done as quickly as possible. And all of this is highlighting the urgency of it. Okay.
Now, since we have such a brain trust of cybersecurity before us in this distinguished panel, I want to shift for a moment. Are you satisfied, and how would you describe the national security threat to our country as a result of cybersecurity as a national security issue? I think it's one we really, really have to deal with. And how would you relate that, particularly when we've had attacks on our cybersecurity from China, from Russia, from Iran, from North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, other terrorists? Now our military bases are put on heightened terrorist attack alert at a level we haven't seen since 9/11. What is it that we need to do more, and how do you address and how do you rate this threat at its present time as a national security issue? Governor Pawlenty, or any of you?
I'll say, Congressman, I would rate it as a clear and present danger. And that's why I said what I said earlier. I think for particularly folks who are on the Republican side of the aisle, it's not as comfortable to say we're just going to do something uniform across the country. But I think this is elevated, not just the card and processing, but many other aspects of this to a national security issue. We have known, identifiable threats to critical infrastructure of this country that would impair not just the economy, but the health and well-being of our citizens if they are deployed to any sort of scale. And so it is a clear and present national security threat that I think needs to be addressed with that kind of urgency and that kind of seriousness and that kind of weight behind it.
And Congressman Scott, it is a question that is answered largely by technology, and thank you for your leadership in taking a founding role in the Congressional Payments Technology Caucus, because technology companies, including many from the great state of Georgia, are out there deploying systems to secure networks against intrusion. And there is no question that the payments industry is focused relentlessly on this, because the security of networks and the reliability of networks and systems is why consumers choose electronic payments as their preferred method of engaging in commerce. And we need to make sure that that remains a confident factor for consumers.
And Mr. Osmond, how ready will we be? October is right around the corner. What are your expectations? Have we set that date? Is it accomplishable?
Yeah, Congressman Scott, the migration in October to the chip cards is a date that we've set as a milestone, and it's a lot of work to do. 1.2 billion cards in consumers' wallets need to be replaced, and more than 8 million merchants in the U.S. need to upgrade their systems in order to accept chip cards. That's going to take some time. Will we be completely finished by October? The answer, frankly, is no, we won't be all done. but we'll be largely there. And most importantly, the industry is entirely unified in recognizing the importance of making this infrastructure upgrade. We're doing it. We're working together, merchants, financial institutions, payments companies, and consumers, and we're going to get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.